What's up, everybody? Welcome to Deep in the Plus. I'm Rob Whiteside, I'm your host, and tonight we're going to have a little Luck of the Irish going for you with my good friend Patrick. Hello, Patrick.
Aye, lad. It's great to see you again. Faith and Dakara.
By the way, I feel like after watching this movie, I need to slip into the world's worst Irish accent. So apologies in advance for that if that's a thing that keeps happening. But Patrick, you brought this movie up, and I think part of it is you like to be the something guy. You were the Mars guy. You were the High School Musical guy. You were the Herbie the Love Bug guy. And now, for some reason, you're the St. Patrick's guy. I guess it's because it's in your name. But we did Darby O'Gill and the Little People last year, and you wanted to come back for more. Tell me about that.
I like being a guy, but I think I'm frozen right here, Rob. So I'm going to come right back at you.
Yeah, you are frozen, and not the good kind.
Yep,
not the good kind. So anyway, last year Patrick and I did Darby O'Gill and the Little People, and it was a huge success. And he was like, "Hey, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I want to find something that we can do that is going to be very St. Patrick's Day oriented." And so you volunteered to do Luck of the Irish. Had you watched this movie before you knew what you were getting me into? I mean, 'cause I hadn't watched it.
I said to my wife, I'm like, "Where are the twin girls that play basketball?" She goes, "That is not this movie."
That is not this movie. Did you really think that's what this was?
Yes, I did. I was like, I know the movie. There's the Irish girls. They play basketball. And no, I apparently what's that, Double Team? Is that what that one's called?
Yes. Yes,
so
boy.
I had not seen this movie, if you couldn't tell by our text message chain, where I claimed that it was awful and I hated it, and then like, all right, maybe I really love this. No, wait, it is actually incredibly terrible.
Well, and maybe you changed your opinions 8 more times after that. We don't know, because we won't know till the end. You got to hold on till the end to tell us what you really thought. So with this movie, you know what? DCOMs are so dated sometimes. Like when this movie first opens up with the Disney Channel original movie crawl across the front, I'm thinking already this feels like 1990, and it was a 2001 movie.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was 2001. Yeah, and didn't it feel like it was like 1992?
Yeah, no, I cannot fathom that that's actually a 2001 movie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so when it opens with that, and then you start to go through it, and it's got he's narrating the whole thing, it definitely felt a little weird. Now this kid was in Smart House, which is another one that I've been kind of trying to get somebody to review with me, and hopefully we can get that done at some point. But we really. He was really coming into his own in this when he starred in this movie. Is he possibly the best actor in this movie? Because
no, he is not.
There are worse than him in this movie.
There are definitely worse actors. I would say he's like shoot in the middle. Who was his best friend? I thought he had incredible Russell. So Glendon Chapman, who doesn't even have a picture on his IMDb. I thought the kid's delivery was great. He had some really good one-liners. I thought he was really good. And Bonnie, was that the friend? Was Bonnie?
Yes, Bonnie.
Yeah, she was pretty good too.
Yeah. No, okay, so when you read the description of this movie, it says, when Kyle loses his golden pot of gold charm, whatever, he discovers he's actually part leprechaun. Is this movie racist?
It's bordering on it. It's not like the caricatures of Irish people is pretty strong. And shots at Michael Flatley, the Lord of the Dance there, the Saint of the Step.
The Saint of the Step, yes. So this movie came out in 2001. It's it was a Disney Channel original movie, so it was only shown on the Disney Channel. The Paul Kiernan is the kid who plays Kyle in this, and then Timothy, I always screw up his name.
No, Ryan Merriman is the kid who plays
Oh, I'm sorry,
Kyle.
Ryan Merriman. I don't know who Paul Kiernan is.
Probably
Timothy,
one of the
Timothy Omundson. Is that how you pronounce his name? He was on
Amundsen, yeah.
He was on Psych. That's where I remember him from all the time. He was Lassiter on Psych. Lassie. So clearly he likes playing, you know.
And Ryan Merriman has found his way into slasher flicks. He was in Halloween Resurrection. He was also in one of my favorite series, Final Destination 3. And let me see, what was the other one? Oh, he's also in Rings, or The Ring 2, which I forgot existed. But yeah, you know, getting into that kind of slasher teenager, but not really a teenager.
Mm-hmm. So when this thing opens, it's on this weird situation where there's a whole theater full of people. You don't know what's going on. They pan across them, weird reaction shots, and you hear his narration talking about where we come from. And so it's Heritage Day at school, and as they're panning across, you see there's somebody who's doing, I think, a Native American dance on the stage, and then they leave, and then they're calling for Kyle to come up to the stage. And when they're trying to call for him to come up to the stage, you see him as a small leprechaun or a small child. He's just small. He's just like a toy shop.
He was little.
We don't know at that point that he's a leprechaun. But then you're like, oh, wow, they just started us like at the end of this movie, like many movies do. But then he wakes up.
God,
so this
that's one of my least favorite things.
I hate that too.
I was thankful that it does come back into play, but it's not like the screech. You might be wondering how I got here, and it makes me want to vomit.
Yes, it's not great. So then, from here for like the first 5 to 10 minutes, there's so much foreshadowing that it's almost like they think we're just idiots, or maybe children, since it was designed for Disney Channel.
All right. That might be a better point. It might be designed for children.
Yeah.
And us as adults, 21 years later. Wow, this movie's old enough to drink.
I was literally going to say that.
Yeah. But maybe it was made for children and not for adults who will find all of the very gaping plot holes.
Well, so they're talking about, you know, the mom's like, do you have your lucky coin? And then they kind of like zoom in on it, and he's holding this coin on a like a string, and so he always keeps his golden coin with him. His mom and dad, he goes to them and says, hey, so Heritage Day is coming up. What are we? What's our heritage? And they're like, we're American.
Lie. Just immediately lie. We're Polish. Boom, done. You're a white kid, you're Polish. There it goes. You know, you're Eastern European. You can do 23andMe and it comes back like me. You're most of Europe, just that general area. Like, I just don't go for specifics. English is super easy. Yeah, bring in fish and chips.
But it's like, what are you? We're American. Hey, forget about it.
We're from Cleveland.
But every time he starts to talk to his parents about that, they have this like serial killer look on their face. And that's when I get back to the acting thing. The parents, especially when they're acting like they don't know what's going on.
Especially.
So bad. But the way he looks at him, it's kind of like this whole like.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just like, this is creepy. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Yeah. And so the whole deal is that they're hiding their heritage. They're hiding something. And so he goes to school and he has the winning shot, and it's lucky because he plays basketball. And...
Yo, let's bring that way back for a second.
Okay.
He does not have the winning shot. He somehow has a winning volley. Like he's falling on the ground, and but I'm like, that's not how basketball works.
Yeah, it is. I saw it. It was in a movie.
And the other thing is, I was going to lead this off by saying, was basketball really that popular in the 90s? And now it's 2001. I'm like, we got a ton of basketball movies from Disney. A ton.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that's really like was the popular sport at the time.
Maybe it was easy. Maybe it was easier to do basketball movies. I don't know.
Cheaper probably than getting a bunch of kids who can ice skate. Yeah. I
sure.
can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, like in this thing, he's playing basketball and he's really great at it. And you find out, well, it's not really that he's great; it's that he's lucky. Mm. I mean, I guess. But so when, so I'm looking for this part right here. So, oh man, I almost had it too. All right, so. I want to show this, and I'm willing to risk getting captured by the YouTube police for this one. It's that important. All right. So they're at the basketball game, and it's 3 minutes into this movie, and the score is not in their favor. They're behind by a little bit.
No.
And so Russell, I think, is coming down the lane with the ball. He's looking to try to score, and the game's tight. And so they shoot the ball up, and then let's see, right here. This is the shot you're talking about. Oh!
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Boom.
No.
Wins the game.
That's not even... Yeah, 57-56 was the final score. I got the final game right up here, ready for you, Rob Whiteside.
Are you thinking there's going to be trivia?
I always think there is. And then I make myself crazy. That should not... You could have come up with literally anything else. Anybody who's played a minute of basketball in their life and would have been on that set, but like, yo, that's not right. Like, let the kid jump and get like a lucky tip in or something, but not a diving volleyball save that goes almost 30 feet.
A lucky tip, you say? Okay, wait a minute. All right, look. I have to ask you a very important question, Patrick. And it's not trivia. It's just a straight-up question.
Yeah.
Ready? Who is this dude? And why is he at all the basketball games? Is that Russell's dad? Or
yeah, that's Russell's dad.
Okay. Because he's just really, really super invested in the game.
Yeah, I don't think they explicitly tell us that, pardon me. But yeah, that's Russell's dad. At least that's how I took it, because he said something later on about Russell. And like when Russell starts getting real good.
So Kyle makes the shot, and he says, I'm the luckiest guy in school. And then he gets this kiss on the cheek from this cheerleader girl. Mm-hmm. So there's that's happening. And then he goes to they cut to him the next day, like being the big man on campus. And everybody's like, he's just the man. And everybody's excited to see him. Is this the
same high school that Brink and Power Rangers was filmed in? Because it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't know what Brink is, but it could have been Power Rangers. But my favorite here is that our boy's got moves. He's going around the school. He's high-fiving everybody. Yeah. Then there's like some music here. Everybody's playing music. That's how my high school was, just like that. And he's like, he's getting all right.
Also, they say it's junior high at one point in time.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that's the case. Is it? So it's not high school, it's middle school?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Middle school and junior high are different, especially like regionally. But it felt like this was supposed to be a high school movie. But at one time, Russ explicitly says it's only junior high.
Yeah. And then Bonnie comes into the picture. Bonnie is, I think we're assuming that she's got a crush on him.
I think she is the archetype nerdy best friend kind of girl that when she takes off the glasses and shakes out her hair, you realize that she is traditionally attractive.
But she calls him out because he doesn't know his heritage, and then it just gets him to thinking, what is his heritage? He's so upset that he doesn't know his heritage, and it's bumming him out.
By the way, Bonnie is what my wife in advertising, because you don't know her last name as Lopez through the entire movie, you just know her as Bonnie, is what we like to call racially ambiguous. And then suddenly it's like, oh, her Latin heritage is such a huge part of her life. But it didn't feel like they were telling us that the whole time. It just felt like she was something. It was very racially ambiguous. It's good for advertising, not good for when you're trying to do a movie about knowing your heritage.
True. No, that's a good point. It's a very culturally diverse movie for 2001, probably.
Very. I did notice that. Notice that. Except no actual Irish people.
The one group that is absolutely outcast in this movie are the Irish folks.
It's just like Luca. There's no Italians in Luca.
So he goes home that night and he's like really bummed out. He doesn't know who he is. And then that's when Dad gives him again that's like psycho killer stare. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
I was like, this guy feels like the dad in every movie. But then I looked and he does not have a ton of credits. Paul Kiernan is, by the way, Bob Johnson. That's who Bob Johnson is.
Bob Smith.
Kiernan. Yeah. That was a nice little misdirect, I'm sure we'll get to. But he's like Dad, you know? I felt like he was in everything. It didn't seem as if he actually was.
That look, dude. Come on.
Oh,
What
it's
he's like? What,
scary.
he's like, what? And what's with the big pot of
What
lettuce?
is that?
What is
What
that food?
what were they trying to serve?
I don't know what they were trying to prove either.
No.
It's a huge bowl sitting on the table, and it's got lettuce peeling out of it, but there's no lettuce in the dish she's
That's
serving.
cabbage. That's definitely cabbage.
Cabbage. Oh, so we're starting to
Yeah, we're starting to leak the Irish into it a little bit.
we're
As
starting
you know,
down the
Irish
stereotype.
people have potatoes, cabbage, beer, and that is it. Although she actually, we'll get to it in a minute, and I will rave about it when we get there. But somebody worked really hard on this and seemed to try and make it a plot point, yet it goes nowhere.
What?
The dinner.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the food itself. I don't know, is there supposed to be like, oh, it's just American cuisine? I don't know.
Okay, so the next question I have for you is, was this movie brought to you by iMac?
No, but that is a 2001. No, because 2001, we kind of moved away from the iMac. Because I graduated, oh God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I graduated high school in 99, and we moved away from the iMac like my sophomore, junior year. So maybe this movie was shelved for a long time.
But look at the colors all the way down.
That is
like
true.
It's so
That is
purposeful.
true.
Like, what library would have gone, look, here's the thing. We're looking
It's
for
very
this,
intentional.
We're looking for a specific aesthetic here. So can we get a red one, an orange one, a blue one, a green one, and I guess the silver or the gray one? And then
I mean, it's kind of Roy G. Biv in it, too, you know? It's kind of in the rainbow spectrum. That's the rainbow spectrum sign in sign language. It's not. Please don't quote me on that. I do know some ASL.
So you made the rainbow connection. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay. All right. So Jade Marie in chat said Disney movies were notorious for using Mac computers. So
Well, I mean, they had a pretty good thing going with Apple and Pixar and all that, so I could see it.
yeah, definite product placement. But did they get some dollars for it? That's really, I'm always worried about that. So I want.
Yeah, I'm always worried about Disney's bottom line.
I want to make sure
my
they.
biggest concern. Make sure that they get paid.
Yeah, I want to make sure they get their cut. You know, I'm always worried to make sure that happens. Yeah. Anyway. So then, you know, now he's doing this hardcore research on the computer about who he is and where his heritage comes from. You know, he had to go to the computer and type in the word Johnson so that he could find his heritage.
Bad idea. Not the best idea. There wasn't even safe search at that point in time, so you're taking a lot of risks.
There's the way your mind's thinking, but there's so many reasons that you could go wrong with that, and it just, like, why would you do that? Like, if I don't know, like, if I'm stalking you and I decide I'm going to put Patrick in a search and assume I'm going to find you, by the way,
man,
it
you can't
work.
even find me in searches for Patrick Hackett. Super common name. I was on a plane once with 2 other Patrick Hacketts. One of them was a doctor, and they came over the PA. They're like, "Is Patrick Hackett on board?" I put my hand up, and 2 other people did, and I was like, "What in the world?" And then he goes, "Which one of you is Dr. Patrick Hackett?"
And you're like, Whew. Okay, all right. Yeah, I joined a Facebook group that I was invited to that was called, "Hey, my name is Rob Whiteside too."
When I had Twitter, I had several Patrick Hacketts that I interacted with.
Okay.
Rip my Twitter account.
Good. You know, I mean, we're just trying to find out our heritage here. That's all we're doing. We're trying to find out our heritage.
I did it. And it's really great because it started off much lower Italian, and my mom got super mad. And then as they get more information, my Italian percentage crept up over 51%. And so now I'm confused about my dad's heritage. It's all really confusing.
I'm sorry, man. That's all
right.
We'll circle back to that after the show, and
Yeah.
we'll figure that out. So he goes home because he can't find anything under the search. Who knew Johnson to find out his entire history? And so once he tries to do that, he decides to go home and snoop around a little bit in Dad's study. And this shot, there's something very 90s Disney about this shot. I don't know what it is. It's like, I guess it's a fisheye lens maybe thing happening.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a fisheye lens. Good eye. But the staging of the room is very 90s Disney. This is what they feel like a sitting room, because it's, 50-year-old men writing movies that are trying to highlight teenagers. It's not really connected. My mom has that roll-top desk, by the way. Like, that exact desk.
And when you're trying to hide your your heritage from your kid, you definitely want to have a folder sitting on your desk labeled birth certificate, because that's definitely a thing too. It's just so weird, these clues that he found. And I guess you said it's a misdirect, but he's trying to find out, like, okay, they're hiding something from me. Psycho Dad is telling me that we're from Cleveland, and Mom's like, don't worry about it.
I think it's a good misdirect.
Okay. A good one?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's a good misdirect. I think they lead you enough astray to focus on Dad until we get to the mom moment.
Yeah. Did you know that Dawn in chat is actually like a third Scottish and had no idea?
Do you know it's really hard to tell the difference between Scottish and Irish accents, and either way you're doing it, it's wrong?
Yes. Because that kind of felt like what they were doing in this movie. It just felt wrong, all of it.
Yeah, it did.
So he's decided the parents are lying. He's going to get to the bottom of it. He's walking along, and he's lucky. Like, that's the thing we keep hearing about him. He's lucky. That's that foreshadowing thing again.
Russ
right?
keeps hammering it home.
Yeah, he's lucky. Man, you can do this. You can.
Bonnie hits it too.
You never miss a shot. You can touch the net. You can do all this other stuff. And so then he goes in and says, "All right." I think there's something about my heritage I can find out. And one of the things he does is he looks down at a bus bench, because that's where you find your most valuable information, is on a bus bench. And he sees that there just happens to be some symbol that's just like the one on his necklace/coin, and he's gonna go to the fair so that he can find out about his heritage there. And he happens to find $10 on the ground. So because he's lucky, and that's what always happens with him. He's lucky, and he's going to the Irish fair. Luck of the Irish. There it is. It's almost the titular line right there.
They did drop the titular line in one of my least favorite things a film can do. Really? I love the Suicide Squad, but anytime you say the name of a movie in the title, like, unless it's intentionally designed to be dumb, like Dude, Where's My Car? It's just horrible. If you're writing a script writers, I know you all come to Deep in the Plus.
They all do.
They do. I see it on the internet. But don't mention the title of your movie in the movie. I mean, even in 101 Dalmatians, a classic film, when he gets to 101, it's just like, stop it, Roger.
Did you? Wow. There was this, the Upright Citizens Brigade. I don't know if you ever watched that TV show with.
Of course I did. Yeah.
Amy Poehler got her start, and and in it there was a whole segment about the titular line, and he's like, "Oh, did you know I had the titular line in Star Wars?" And that guy's like, "There was no titular line in Star Wars." He goes, "Yeah, there was, and I had it." And he's like, "I'll prove it." He puts in this video, and it's like, "Man, when will there ever be an end to these Star Wars?" And like they just kept cutting to all these other titular lines, and one was out of Africa. And he's like, "Dude, there was no titular line in that." And he's like, "Yeah, there was, and I did it." And they show him on a green screen next to Meryl Streep, and he says, "When will we ever get out of Africa?" And you're right though. It hurts. And then on Family Guy, Peter did one where he was doing all the titular lines, and then they show he's in the theater, and you hear it say, "That's why I am Superman 4, the quest for peace." And Peter goes,
"Yes!
Oh, that's why they call it that."
That's why they call it that.
So it bothers a lot of us. It bothers me too. Yeah. Like, don't take me out of it with the titular line. That's too much. Yeah. But you're right. Sometimes they do make it the joke. I don't know. There was a lot of other weirdness that happens once he gets to the fair, including this random henchman, which we don't know he's a henchman at the time. But he's a
henchman at the time.
It seemed very, very murder mystery. Yeah, because he's like there and he's like hanging out with the kids, and he's getting top of the morning to you, and then he was like, and you're just like, all right, yeah, it was a little too much. And again, movie in the 2001, maybe we're possibly thinking it was made in the 90s and shelved, but 2001 for kids. So I guess, you can't come at them too much for that, but it's a little icky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah. So, but he's there, and for some reason they seem to spot Kyle in the crowd, and
well, he has his necklace out. I think that's what they spot.
Yeah. And then this old dude comes up and shows him his shoes. I mean, if I had $1 for every time that happened to me, right?
What was that transition even? And by the way, that actor also played a leprechaun in Bewitched, which he doesn't age. That's like 50 years.
Well, it's kind of like Steve Martin. He started old. So.
Oh,
yeah.
man. By the way, Only Murders in the Building. Just binged that with my wife. Amazing.
Yes.
Can't do Deep in the Plus on that because it's not on the Plus, despite what someone in the Wig Score is saying. By the way, become a Wig, patreon.com/WWNT. But we only do things that are on Disney Plus.
Deep in the Hulu? But I mean, it is still like 20th century. It is still an actual Disney property. So, so this old man finds him in the crowd, tells him he needs to be making his own shoes. I thought at this point that in somewhere during this movie, that was going to be how they solved it, because he just kept saying something.
Right?
You felt that too.
I bet you don't even make your own shoes. Like, all right, no one does.
But he kept saying
just
it was
you,
like,
dude.
Yeah, it was like there was a way to save, like, it's like that's how the way you prove you're a man or something like that. I was really
now I'm
thinking,
like, do the Irish are they getting Irish and elf culture mixed up? Like, elves make shoes. It's you either bake cookies, make shoes, or you're at the North Pole. Those are the elf jobs.
The show.
Yeah, you got to be. Yeah.
Also, this place where they are, that's supposed to be this fair. I wonder, like, I didn't look up where this is from, but it looks just so.
I did.
It looks like it's an actual existing theme park, is it?
It is. It is. It is. Hang on one second. See, now I don't see it on here. It is Lagoon Theme Park in Farmington, Utah.
But I mean, everything looked permanent. So they're at the fair. Yeah. But everything looked permanent. The buildings.
Which his dad told him never to go to the fair.
No, you never go to the fair, and they're so good of his parents to tell him why you don't do things like that. I don't know. But then Lieutenant Lassiter comes in, and he is dressed like, as you said, Michael Flatley. And he is.
Which, by the way, my wife is 5 years younger than me. I'm like, oh, they're doing a take on Michael Flatley, and she gave me a who. I was like, oh, right. So yeah, felt really old, really old.
Well, by the way, too, the dancers that are dancing for him, they also seem very evil. And I don't know why.
Yes, very maniacal.
There's nothing actually evil about them, but they give off an evil vibe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like Stepford Wives kind of.
I get it, step, because it's step dance.
I had a friend. Sadly, he passed away. He was an amazing Irish step dancer, and it was an absolute thrill to watch him. It's such a cool dance variety, and the skill it takes is pretty incredible, especially to keep the top half so still while the bottom half is going crazy.
Yeah. One other thing that I kind of hate in movies, and is when you make it painfully obvious that the person who is the actor is not doing the thing. When the person who is the actor isn't playing the piano, isn't throwing the knife, isn't actually
when they go
dancing.
With that, yeah.
So in this point where they put his back to us, so we don't actually see that it's not him.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as this is probably not an easy dance to do, like you were just talking about, I think they could have taught him enough moves to get through this without having a dance double. No?
I think you need a dance double. I think you do. I can't imagine the cost on this. The budget probably wasn't that big for. I imagine most DCOMs don't have that big of a budget, but you've got to get the good dancing. And you're making a movie about the Irish. You're going to highlight the dance. Let's get some good dancing, and I enjoyed that.
Gotcha. So at this point, I want to say thank you guys for watching tonight. We really appreciate it. I want to make sure that you guys, if you're new to the channel, that you subscribe to Unplanned Downtime for more great content, including the new news show that we've just dropped that we'll talk about at the end. But also, if you could give us a like, we'd really appreciate it. It helps to
smash
feed
it.
Patrick's ego.
Subscribe.
It's very fragile. Please.
Oh, so fragile.
Please.
You know, it's
feed
been
his
almost
ego.
10 years since I've been on a game show, and it's just like, if I don't get these likes, I'll just wilt away.
For 10 years,
I don't
he's
even
been
make my own
resting,
shoes.
needing so much more
Yeah.
than dusting. Patrick, you wanna do a little trivia? You want to stop and do a little trivia about this movie? Some things that I have noticed in this movie that I wonder if you noticed too.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it on.
This is not Bring It On. I wish we could do Bring It On.
I wish we could do Bring It On.
I would so.
Oh, man.
The Bring It On movies. Have we talked about the Bring It On movies? Oh my gosh, Bring It On.
I don't know. I mean, as a former cheerleader, like, seeing Bring It On in the theater with my teammates was one of the best experiences I had in college.
I also
Just a
saw
row
Bring It
of
On
cheerleaders
in the theater
watching that
with
movie.
your teammates when they.
Did you?
Yeah.
You were in Neshaminy, Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you even pronounce Neshaminy?
I can't.
How about Conshohocken?
Dude, this is a family show. Let's just keep it clean. But Bring It On again, Bring It On All or Nothing, Bring It On In It to Win It, and Bring It On Fight to the Finish. All of them.
We'll get that in like the April Fool's Day, Deep in the Fox or whatever we're going with.
I don't know. Okay, so you ready? You ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kyle was a basketball player. What was his number?
Oh, son of a... I paid attention to literally every number. Man, all right. 34. Let's go with 34.
I want to see if anybody in the chat knows that one, though. I thought you would. Oh, God, I thought that was going to be the way.
I did not pay attention to jersey numbers. I was like, he's going to ask me the score. Or like, what time was left on the clock. You gotta wait till they catch up to us.
Yeah. Yeah, waiting a little bit for the catch up.
Isn't it in the artwork that I shared earlier today? Should I have been able to see that?
I don't know. So I haven't seen it pop up yet, but his number is number 11.
Oh, that was going to be my second guess. I wanted to say 1, but I was like, they wouldn't do that much to make him wear 1. The chat obviously guessed 7.
7?
Yeah, 7.
So as he's snooping and sleuthing, and he finds his dad's birth certificate, it does indeed prove that he was born in Cleveland. What county?
Erie.
Gibson.
That's another Pennsylvania.
It's
Erie
literally
County's in Pennsylvania.
the first thing they show you on the birth certificate, and they almost pause on it, which was weird.
You know what, Rob? Though something's very important, and someone that I idolized said the most important thing is winners leave Cleveland. That's what they do. So he must not be a winner. Okay. Or no, they left, so they must be winners.
Yep. Don says Cleveland rocks. Ohio. So
OH.
Yes. So there you go. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
What this should be pretty easy for you. Okay. Young Bonnie Lass, Bonnie Lopez.
Yep.
She's a member of a youth group. What is that youth group called?
I know it. It's there.
Wait for it.
Oh. Admiral.
Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap. I just need reaction pics from me for this, like in the future.
No, you had a pretty good reaction to that one. Dawn says Heritage Club.
There it is.
Chiefly,
she's in every club.
It's but that's not the one that I mean. The one where she is the club that takes her to the potato chip place.
Yeah, it's like young. What is it?
It's the Young Achievers.
I had the right first letter. I couldn't get there.
Yeah. I mean, it was really weird because there's a school bus, and then there's this vinyl sign on the outside of the school bus that says Young Achievers. And if you've ever driven a car or a vehicle of any type more than 20 miles an hour, you know that thing's going to fall off. So they probably had to get off the bus, put that on, and then bring everybody off the bus. That's probably what happened. But anyway, points to Dawn for Heritage Club, because that was one, because she was the head of the Heritage Club. But the one that I was meaning was the Young Achievers. Seamus is the saint of the step, as opposed to the lord of the dance. What is the admission price to get into the saint of the step? It was clearly written on the bus benches that we talked about. It was clearly written there. It was clear. It was right there. What's the admission price to get in?
You figured out what I'm looking for, and now you go for things that I clearly haven't looked for. $5.
$8.
That's insane in 2001.
Dude, it's the Saint of the Step. When does the Saint of the Step come to town? The Saint of the Step. It's the Saint of the Step. You got to pay that $8 to get in there.
Right, hang on.
What?
Calculate that. All right, that's not bad. That's $12. That's almost $13 in 2022. So that's not terrible. I take back my shock.
Yeah, Sleek Animation Wolf is really wanting us to know if we remember Rankin Bass's Irish Christmas Gold. I do not. I know Rankin and Bass and all of the stop action, but no, do not know that one. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, $8. The night that our boy Kyle has a horrible night at the game, he just gets booed mercilessly, which I want to talk about in a minute. He gets home with his parents. He's got his gym bag. He throws it over his shoulder. What color is his gym bag?
Blue.
Dude, did you guess? Because that's exactly right. Or did you just...
No.
Okay.
No, I remembered the uniforms.
Okay,
so I figured he probably had a blue bag because they wore white and blue.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
What is the name of his basketball team?
Oh, they have a really good name. It's a 2-word name. I figured they would have went with something like Fight in Irish, but it's not Screaming Eagles, because that was in Coach. They were the Screaming Eagles. It is Eagles. It's something Eagles. Is it Screaming Eagles? Final answer.
I don't think that's the way we play that.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay. You give me money now.
Final. You give me money?
Money, please.
I take money. I take money? Okay. No, it's Soaring Eagles. Soaring.
Soaring Eagles.
They're soaring, flying. Yeah. There's not a star in heaven that they can't reach.
Really nice uniforms. Really nice uniforms. Well, I like that. That's something I pay attention to in sports movies.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The final score of the first game, you memorized it. So what is it?
55-54.
57-56. I thought you memorized it. I thought you were like,
listen, I had a little Irish courage tonight, so, you know.
For some strange reason, they show a milk truck drive by. Not just once, but
multiple
twice.
Times. Yeah,
which I thought, again, was going to have a plot point to it.
Yep. Nope.
But it didn't. What do you remember the name of?
Like Hannafin Farms? Hannafin Farms?
What?
Hannafin. Hand, foot, and mouth disease?
No, it's Winder. It's not even.
Look at that. That's really obvious. Oh God, Rob, I pay such close attention.
It's only a 90-minute movie. What are you doing the whole time?
I'm watching, and like my eyes, I have like the Clockwork Orange thing going on. So
Granddad, let's 2 more. Ready? Granddad decides he's going to drive them. What?
Oh, he has a name for his car.
No, okay. He's gonna drive them to chase after the gold coin from Seamus. What's his license plate? It's a vanity plate.
Yes, it is. Merriman? That's all I got is Merriman.
Why would it be Merriman?
I don't know. It's the only thing. It came into my head, Rob. I stared at that license plate and I cannot possibly recall it right now.
It's O'Reilly, dude. That's it.
Oh God. Oh, O'Reilly.
No.
Auto car.
We don't do that.
Oh, can we get dinged for that?
I don't know.
Yep.
But there she is.
O'Reilly.
There she is. Yeah. One final question.
Oh, this is terrible.
When they finally catch up with Seamus, it's at the end of the rainbow, and they get into his Winnebago, and they go to his safe.
Yep.
What is the name of the safe company that is listed on the front of the safe? Go.
McDuck. Definitely McDuck.
I don't think that's correct.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
McDuck safes. This is where you show me the picture, and I'm very, very wrong.
It's not McDuck safes.
It could be. That is in a queue somewhere. I take a picture of it literally every single time I'm there. Brinks. It's Brinks. Oh, God. Oh.
There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's a pot of gold. So let's talk about that.
This movie gets worse.
It's worse. Let's talk about the fact that the accent thing. So the whole deal is that after he loses his gold coin at this Saint of the Steps show, they pull a switcheroo on him, and I don't really know where the switcheroo happens because I was looking for it, and I guess it's when the guy puts the lei over top of him, but he's got the thing, but it didn't look like he had done anything there, so I wasn't really sure what was happening. So he puts the lei over top of him, and then he's somehow taken the gold coin and knew that was where he needed to take it from, and then the next morning when Kyle wakes up, he has got bad luck all day. And yeah, so he
has a Celine Dion CD sitting next to his alarm clock.
You did look at some very interesting things.
I did.
Man, imagine if I'd asked that one. That would have been great.
I would have been stoked.
So there were a couple of them that I thought of, and I was like, man, that'd just be mean to ask. I thought I was doing good. Okay, so when he gets up and he's got bad luck. He starts talking with the worst little accent. And he's calling his dad, Da. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I mean, Dad. It hurt. It was weird.
It really hurt. It was very odd.
I mean, he was getting shorter.
Here comes...
And then he was getting, like, spiked hair. And then he got... By
the way... It just looks like he put too much sun in it. Listen, I went through a phase when I was that age, and I had Duracell copper top hair. It's just what happened. Again, in the 90s, that this movie was made in 2001 is baffling.
Well, and it's very Teen Wolf, too, if you think about it. Not Teen Wolf 2, Teen Wolf.
I didn't.
Teen Wolf also.
I did not think about that, but excellent reference.
So when he realizes that he's getting shorter and that his hair's all messed up, he runs into the bathroom to look at his hair, and he doesn't notice his ears at this point? Like, that's not a thing.
He did not seem to notice his ears.
His ears were pretty pointy. I was going to say...
By the way, the hair looks good.
Yeah, I was going to say on point, but he was pretty pointy. But I mean, that would have been the first thing I noticed. My ears were
I noticed that my ears changed. You feel like you would feel it, too. Like, I'm very aware of the shape of my ears. If something happened, I think I would know.
Yeah. So, the other thing that happens
you skipped over my favorite part, though.
But I was going to say...
she presents the full Irish breakfast.
Oh, is that your favorite part?
Yes, because a full Irish or a full English breakfast is one of the best delights that you can have. It's fantastic. Go find a pub. Go get yourself a full Irish or a full English. Get a pint and watch some soccer, football, if you will.
So he's having a bad day now because he doesn't have his luck. And then his mom is getting weird. She's starting to use an accent. She's telling, now she's admitting that she's Irish. She's getting
incredibly more attractive as it goes on as well.
That's between you and your wife. I don't want to talk about that right now.
She doesn't usually watch these, but sometimes she can hear what I say, so,
Yeah, it's I guess she had her hair up in a bun when she was trying to contain herself, and then when she finally
her Irish, then the Irish overwhelms her.
And when she finally decides to wake up and make breakfast, and it looks like this. This is good. This looks good to you?
Dude, a full English or a full Irish. All you're missing is like the beans and the mushrooms. Rashers of bacon are so much better than the bacon we eat usually. Oh, so good. Rest in peace to the Anna Liffey's, the pub I used to always go to for breakfast. For those of you who are in Connecticut, Coach.
Dawn agrees. She's got the beautiful red curly hair.
She's getting more attractive.
Yeah. So, but you know, her part of it. That's the weird thing is her part with the accent didn't bother me as much that she was slipping into.
No.
But this goes back to what you were talking about the Irish accent and the Scottish accent. It felt like she was slipping into some Merida.
I think the look was very Merida.
No, the voice too.
So
maybe I was just distracted by the look.
Could be.
So he's lost his luck. He goes to play the big game. He screws it up because he can't play basketball. But it was either the day before or during the day, Bonnie comes at him pretty hard. I feel like she was a little unfair to him. She for no reason. And again, it looks like she likes him.
Well, she does have a reason. She does have a reason.
Okay.
So it's not for no reason.
Explain it. Explain yourself.
And you can... I will. This is an easy one to explain. I mean, you see this with people who just kind of maxed out at being a high school athlete, who's kind of bitter at the people who have natural talent. Like, they work at their craft. They're in the gym shooting 600 jump shots. But even if they're shooting 600 jump shots, they're never going to be the level of somebody like LeBron James, who the God, whatever you want to believe in, came in and just tapped him on the head with that talent. And so she's upset because she works hard at her craft. She's a good basketball player. A, she can't play basketball because of she needs to achieve. And B, she's infuriated because it's clear that he has no form, no substance, and it's all luck.
Look, can we talk about this dude for a second? I don't understand why he was like this guy was not a good actor.
He looks like a serial killer, like straight away.
Yeah, I just he's the coach, and I don't know. Did they get an actual coach to do this, and that's why? Because he didn't seem like a great actor.
I feel like he's been in a bunch of stuff though. Let me see here. Stan Ellsworth, who was the coach, he was in High School Musical 3 as Mr. Riley, which, as you know, is my least favorite High School Musical.
Well, I wouldn't know because you haven't reviewed it with me. You did 1 and 2 and gave up.
Will you do Sharpay's?
The Fabulous movie. But yet we did Brink, but we didn't do High School Musical 3.
All right, Rob, we'll do High School Musical 3. We'll get it on the books. You'll make me watch that turd again. But let's get back to Luck of the Irish and Bonnie very reasonably accosting her friend.
Well, and she thinks that she has thrown him off his game after she comes at him because he never tries on anything, and then he messes up in the game. He loses the game, or actually, he didn't lose the game. He was doing poorly, and they pull him out. Yeah. And Drake, God, is there nothing Drake can't do? Is it a different Drake, or is it the singer Drake?
It is a different Drake.
Okay,
it is not that Drake. Yep.
Well, they just kept calling him Drake. I don't know.
But he was a basketball player. And in high school movies. Middle school? Degrassi?
Do you love me? Do you? Okay. So anyway, he gets in and saves the game. And then the next day, Kyle is trash garbage. I mean, he had his moves.
Oh, that was
He was
horrible.
dancing with everybody. And one bad game. And Kyle's, I mean, not only was he feeling bad about the game, but Russell's dad was booing the heck out of him and yelling, get him out of there, get him out of there. Aggressive.
I went to a very competitive high school. High school sports were huge in Connecticut, especially high school hockey. And we went to a school that had a good rivalry with another school. Chris Drury went there. They beat us a lot for state championships, whatever. We never booed our own players. I mean, it's high school. While it's competitive and everything else, you don't boo your players. You shouldn't boo anybody in that game. They're kids. And then the treatment he got at school, I never saw that happen in a million years. We had tough, hard kids there, like mean kids. But anytime somebody messed up in the game, everybody was so nice to them. Especially, why do they have a chance to be hard on him? They won. They're still going to the first ever state championship in the school's history. Bunch of mean girls over there. A little bit of Regina George action.
There you go. That's what I was going to say. Mean girls, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So now everything's awful, and his life is incomplete, and he's sad, and he's realizing he's not very good at anything for real because he's never really worked at it, and everything Bonnie said was true. And then you know, he decides that he's going to go home and fess up to the family that he's lost his gold coin. He's turning into a leprechaun. He doesn't, or he knows something weird's happening to him. He doesn't.
All right, so
really
here's
know
where I have
what.
the major problem. They know that this luck cannot be taken. Why do they put it in the hands of a high school, middle school kid? Why don't they have that locked up somewhere? Does it need to be on your person?
Well,
Or could it just be kept safe somewhere?
It needs to be on the youngest of the clan.
Okay, that didn't seem to be in the rules. I did know like the youngest had to have it. I didn't know if he could have just kept it on its trophy or whatever. It feels awfully irresponsible to give something that can turn you all into leprechauns to the youngest member of your family.
I like how they place
notoriously
everyday
lose things.
objects near her so that she is, like, for perspective. Like, why else is there a shoe on the counter and some keys?
Why is there a shoe on the counter?
I didn't know if it had anything to do with, like, the
I mean, how many years was this from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which did this much better?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was earlier. I think it was 98.
Yeah, much earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, why? So terrible. I did not notice that shoe.
Really? I thought there was a
I did
purpose
not.
for it. There was so many
No,
misdirects
absolutely.
for me. I didn't understand.
To show scale.
Yeah, I didn't understand the dad because they didn't really explain he was Russell's dad. I didn't understand the shoe on the counter. I didn't understand the milk truck driving through the neighborhood. I mean, all of these like little misdirect things that I thought for certain had meaning, and yeah, they just threw them all over. So anyway, what do you think? I mean, did they do a good job making her look small? You're saying that you think that the stuff in
the hair and
was...
makeup and everything was horrible. Like the beard that Riley O'Reilly grew, it just everything felt so very fake. They could have just done like the shrinking. I thought they did that pretty good, like where his pants just got a little bit bigger. That was okay, but it felt very 2001 special effects at that point in time.
And what was the purpose of this scene with her like standing there reaching up for the like jumping up for the doorknob with the keys around her? Like,
I'm gonna go with comedy. Was the intention?
Yeah, it was a swing and a miss then. Swing and a miss.
Different sport.
You know what was funny
Shot
is
in the
that
airball.
as we drop the socials into the which we do here at the network, we put the social graphics in, and we have an amazing social team that will put these up for us and get the word out when we're about to go live and have a show. But when I put them into our channel, one of our folks, Jade, was like, "OMG, such a good movie pick." So a lot of people excited that we were doing Luck of the Irish tonight. This movie obviously touched some hearts, touched some souls. Kind of a big deal. So, you know, just because we're running way behind, but we really don't have anywhere to go because I mean, we're on a new night. We're on a new night.
I think that's the important thing
we
is
could
that
do
there's
what we
nothing.
want.
We're not like trying to get out of the way of the fantastic timekeeping show we have on our main network.
I mean, it's all right. It's all right. We're not on it.
But you know, Rob, I love you, but Ron and I are also very close. I know that's hard for you, but you know, he does a great job on that show, and they put a lot of work and effort into it. It's okay. It's all right. Bring it back. Let's talk about the tiny leprechaun lady.
Yep. Okay. So she gets in the car. She's like, you know what? This must be your granddad. It must be him.
Your granda.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he's filthy rich. He owns the potato chip company, which is the only potato chips that anybody in this town eats. Emerald Isle golden potato chips. Should have seen that coming.
So they take the actual story of potato chips, that's literally how potato chips happen. Is someone cut the potatoes too thin and put them in whatever. But like, I don't know. I feel like a different name brand would have been better to at least hide the fact that you're a leprechaun a little bit.
Maybe he's hiding in plain sight.
Good call. Good call.
What about as far as a visual gag? Now the one with where they're jumping up to get the doorknob. You said that was comedy. That's what you called it? Comedy?
No. I said it was an attempt at comedy.
Oh, well,
I did not say it was successful.
What's this? What is?
All right, I laughed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm seeing it right now. I laughed again.
Oh, wow. Somebody has some lowbrow sense of humor. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, okay, that was funny. But little people, big things, big people, little things. Gets me every time. The door didn't get me, but that got me. It was, especially when they were like, and why don't you just stay in the car, as she was struggling with it. I'm not very smart sometimes, Rob. Just go with the lowest common denominator.
Another, again, I'm an intelligent human being. This movie, there's a lot of things that they go out of their way to show you what's going to happen, the foreshadowing. That one was, the next one was when they go to the potato chip factory. There is a moment where they're trying to get in, and the security guard also puts off a really creepy vibe. He's like, "Oh, I get to tell them they can't come in? Okay." So when they try to go see it, he's like, "That's my granda," and he's like, "Yeah, you can't go in," and he says he doesn't know who you are and you have to leave. Just at that moment, there's a woman behind them saying, "Hey, the tour group's here." Like, you didn't know they were going to get part of the, like do a Peter Parker and mix in with the tour group.
Rob, you know what they always say is make sure you tell someone and don't show them, because showing someone something doesn't do anything. You need to tell them. Make sure you tell them exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's such poor filmmaking. Like, DCOMs are not the height of art, but let's step up our game a little bit better than that.
Would you say that Kyle and his dad are big guys in general?
I don't know.
Do you think
Kyle's dad seems pretty average?
As this security guard is giving him the what for, and then the next security guard who throws them out of the I'm gonna clip.
They give him the old.
Look at that guy! Look at that guy! You think that guy threw the two guys over the bushes like that?
Over a bush? No, not one.
Two guys,
not at all. Yeah, they give him the old Uncle Phil right out of there.
They do. It's really funny though, because as they're in this factory, and the guy pushes the alarm button, there must be, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out a number, 50 guards.
Yeah. Why do these potato chips need to be that highly guarded?
They're
what
golden.
is going on there?
They're golden potato chips.
Oh God, that was so comical to me, and not in a comical funny way. This is absurd.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Beyond the pale.
Yeah, but I mean, there are a lot of security guards in this, and I'm just like, there is no factory in the world that has
that much security.
As many security guards running all over the building, because these are the guys coming from one direction, not the band, and the other ones were coming from the other direction, and it's like there were so many. I don't know. And so then he gets thrown into some weird potato chip thing, which could have killed him, I guess. I don't know. But
my wife audibly gasped when that happened. I was like, babe, really?
You know the one that gets me,
did you think he was going to get potato chipped?
The one that gets me is he falls into a bin of, like, stuff, like soft potato chips or something. When Bonnie comes down the tube after him, she falls on the ground.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, that's not cool.
No.
Yeah. So, the last time I was at a potato chip factory and got tossed around by security, I promised myself I'd never go back. So there's a lot of PTSD involved with this with me. Okay, I didn't. I made that up. None of that's true.
I'm glad we're not lying to our faithful viewers.
None of that is true. I'm sorry. I just wanted to be a part of things. So when we go through this now, he's met his granda. His granda tells him that all of his luck is in that coin, and yeah. And then he somehow mentions Seamus, and he's like, oh, well, he must be the one that stole your coin. Let's go get him. And so they try to get in the car, and the mom punches the
Real
granddad
quick
in the
about
face.
Seamus. Real quick about Seamus.
Yeah.
Is he like a leprechaun serial killer? Is that kind of what's going on here?
Because he's collecting all. It's like
Yeah.
kind of like Highlander, but with gold.
Yeah.
There can be only one.
Yeah.
Or General Grievous
But
with
he's
the lightsabers.
not a leprechaun. He's just Irish.
And the General Grievous with the lightsabers and just keeping them all.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
General Kenobi.
Yes. Which, by the way, that trailer dropped today, so there's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know what he is, but they go to they're gonna go find him, but first they have to make up, and there's been like, at least a decade or so of hate between them, but they make up on the spot because the O'Reilly Irish luck is at stake, I guess. So they make up. Yeah. They make up nice. And then they decide they're going to get in the car. Car won't start. They get in Granddad's car. They drive. They have lots of bad luck. There's a flat tire. His beard grows all of a sudden. I don't think they really showed the beard growing. He just had a beard all of a sudden.
Yeah, I did not notice. All of a sudden, it was just there.
Yeah. So, anyway, so they're on the chase. They're trying to get him. There is their chase where they chase Seamus's Winnebago for no particular reason. I guess the whole reason for that was so they could get stranded and then have these epiphanies about life.
Yeah, I don't know. It takes a really bizarre turn into the absurd here. What seemed like a pretty straightforward coming of age, finding your identity, basketball movie, learning to do without your luck and going with your skill, suddenly turns into this very absurdist deal with the devil. Devil and Daniel Webster kind of trial situation.
Yeah, and then everybody's turning more leprechaun-y all the time. So, yeah, I guess
just more and more leprechaun-y.
Yeah, more leprechaun-y. But there's a moment there where they have some social commentary all of a sudden. Did you catch this?
Yes, it was my favorite line. I laughed for so long. Yeah. I thought it was great.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. I mean, I can talk about it. I mean, I studied a lot of history in college. It was one of my favorite subjects, and one of the books I read is how the Irish became white, and a lot of it is about the Irish experience in America and some of their experience in Europe as we were moving towards America, and they were basically second-class citizens. And yet still saying that in front of a person of color, and the kid drops the best line, and he goes, at least I got paid. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it really, I thought was a strong line in the middle of a weird time because they're talking about how...
But that kid has great delivery and great timing.
Yeah, and it's not preachy, it's just matter of fact, right? It's just like, I mean, and it hits... Like it hits when he says it. And
it hits and it's right on the right beat, and it gives a little bit of time to breathe, too.
So I just was like, whoa, did they just get all, political?
Yeah.
They got social on me. It's not political, but they got social on me right there. And I was just like, wow, okay, you did it. Because they were talking, again, about the Irish. And that in itself is like, okay, the plight of the Irish, because they weren't accepted, and there were signs that said no Irish allowed, and they got horrible wages, and then he says, at least I got paid. And that was it, and we move on. But I mean, it was
well done.
Definitely noticeable, I thought. So I'm glad you picked up on the same thing. So at this point, Kyle's like, we gotta pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. We can't just sit here and be whiny. And he opens up the trunk to find a tire iron, I guess, or a jack, because there's no spare tire. And the whole thing's full with shoes, which again, it comes back to the thing where I'm like, this is it. This is the moment where he teaches him how to make shoes, and that's what makes him a man and gives him his own power, so he doesn't need the coin back. And it never happened. The shoe thing was just the red herring the entire time. I don't even know what the shoes were about.
No.
So I'm very upset about the shoes. I'm very upset about the shoes.
I got it.
So anyway, they go to the end of the rainbow. They find the pot of gold vault. They open it up. He's like, "Hey, we're just taking our lucky coin back." And the granddad's like, "No, you got to take all of this." Was that a test?
I don't know. Like, Granddad's a robber all of a sudden. And it was very odd and oddly intense for this kind of movie.
And then when he puts his hands all over the gold, apparently that like triggers Samus, that he's like, oh wait, somebody's touching my gold, and so he goes back to find out about it, and he turns into a tornado of coins, reaches out and grabs the old man by the beard and pulls him in.
And once he has him by the beard,
right? But the weirdest thing ever, and also at that moment, his beard
is crazy weird.
Yeah. They were like, how do we write ourselves out of this one? We're running out of time. This is only going to be 2 hours on Disney Channel. We gotta figure it out. And they're like, all right, what if the bad guy portals in through a tornado of coins, grabs the old man by the beard, pulls him in, and then shows up outside the Winnebago? Yeah, that'll work.
I guess.
Was all DCOM storytelling this lazy?
I don't know, man. I feel like as we get further and further back in them, and I know you hate me bringing it up, but like I feel like Brink had a lot more succinct storytelling. There wasn't as many holes in that as there is in this. There's not as many holes in Alley. There's not as many holes in Alley Cat Strike. There's not as many holes. Well, there's a lot of holes in High School Musical. Like, the whole meet cute with Gabrielle and Troy, and then suddenly she winds up in the school. Suddenly she's not moving every year. So, yeah, there's a lot, but this is pretty bad. And it gets worse from here.
Yeah. When they go to do the sports.
Yes.
So, basically what happens is the grandpa had told him at some point, hey, you know, whatever kind of leprechaun he is, he can't stay away from a wager. And so he's like, okay, I'll play you at sports.
Was it Ferdarig? Ferdarig. Yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah.
But he's like, I'll play you at sports. And he's like, I don't really know. He didn't actually specify. And it was almost at this point where it's like a genie thing with the wish. Like, you have to be specific with him, or he's going to be wily, and he's going to... And actually, when we talked about Darby O'Gill and the Little People... Darby O'Gill and the Little People was a lot like that, because he kept, you know, that was the thing with Darby, where he was like, I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks that the king of the leprechauns is going to play on me, so, you know, I'm not going to fall for any of them. But yeah. So he says, I'm going to play you in sports, and if I can beat you in sports, then I'm going to give, then you give me the coin back, and if not, then you get the coin. And so they're going to play sports. But then apparently he didn't...
Why say sports? Yeah, why say sports? Say, I'm good at basketball. I'm going to play you in basketball.
So they go out to, again, this feels very Scottish to me. I don't know anything about...
So hurling is Irish, and it's a really awesome game. If you ever have some, you know, time and want to fall down a YouTube hole, go search for some hurling highlights. But
I think if you want to find some time to fall down a YouTube hole, you watch more Deep in the Plus.
Oh, absolutely. Unplanned downtime. I mean, there's a new show coming up. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to be surprised with everybody else.
No, you're not. You missed it yesterday. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta pay better attention. So like it does. It feels like the Highland Games. I was expecting like the caber toss to come out, and then they're like, dancing. Since when was dancing a sport? It is in Ireland, and I'm like, I don't think it is. I think there's like Gaelic football and a lot of other stuff that could be incorporated there. If I don't know, in 2001 you went on an Alta Vista search and just looked for some things. Again, it feels like they wrote themselves into a corner. And we're like spitballing, blue skying, no bad ideas. How do we get out of this? Oh, if they tie, it's not a win. It's a bet about semantics.
Yeah. You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You look like
I hate
sad.
semantics. I am sad. I'm pretty sad.
Yep. So yeah. They go to play the sports, but here's the thing that I find interesting is that there are these like flag things that they unfurl.
Yeah.
For every time that there's a score, and it feels very Harry Potter-ish before Harry Potter was Harry Potter.
I mean, I think it's very much a medieval thing that they've done, like unfurl banners and stuff. I think that's a historical thing, Rob. I don't think that's from the mind of
the only
Joanne
history
K.
I know is what I learned from Harry Potter. So. That's the thing.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. By the way, there was a line that Kyle used in the beginning of the thing when they were getting started.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about.
About Erie?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
He says that was when Bonnie was talking to him, and she says something about knowing your history. He goes, history's so 10 minutes ago. Did you hear that line? I mean, I was like,
yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
that one hurt.
That felt like the lighting was really good on that shot, and they just one took it. Like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. It's a kids movie, no one cares. Move on. Little
did they know that 21 years later, two dudes would sit around and talk about this movie for 70 minutes. Yep. So they play sports, and then he's like, all right, look, I lost because I wasn't very clear that it had to be the sport I wanted, and it had to be that, one of us had to win, not that it could tie, and then I didn't beat you. And he's like, okay, I'll double or nothing. I'll be your slave if I lose, but if you lose, then you have to, give me back my coin, leave us alone, and spend the rest of your life on the shores of Erie like my father.
Yep.
So.
And again, semantics. By the way, just kind of seeing who made this film, the auteur, the director, and he is literally Disney and Nickelodeon only. So he learned from a lot of mistakes with Luck of the Irish because it's early on in his career. But I mean, he directed Kids Incorporated, Roundhouse, Sabrina, several episodes of The Secret World of Alex Mack. He did Zombies most recently for Disney. He's in Zombies 3. Like, he's done a lot for Disney, and he got better, if that helps.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. All right.
So when he replays the whole thing, they show up at the basketball game. There was that interesting scene though where he's playing against Seamus, and he's like, "Well, ref, how he's not even high school. How can he do this?" And then the ref looks and is seeing an actual dude, which is very similar again to Darby O'Gill and the Little People. You're going to say something. You have a thought.
What is happening in this scene? What is going on? Like, is this actually happening? Is this a dream sequence? Does anybody else see his granddad sitting on top of the board in chains? What is happening here? And also, how are you going to name the team the Spartans and not like the Fighting Irish?
Because they're not Irish, you mean because they're fighting the Irish? Is that what you're doing?
No, if it's the team going against them, how do you not have the foresight to write it's the Fighting Irish going against them in the finals, not the Spartans? I mean, they even have Notre Dame colors on the jersey. Just use Irish or something of that lines. If you're gonna do the thing all the way.
Yeah. But again, that scene is very, again, like I said, Darby O'Gill and the Little People. The whole well, you look in the bag. Well, it's a rabbit, and he's like, well, no, that's that king. He's tricky. Mm-hmm. He'll make you see something else. So I don't know. It's a good time, and then they win the game, and I was I was watching this as we were tuning in. I was finishing it up as Patrick and I were doing the pre-show. He's like, "You're watching it now," and I was like, "Yeah." How does it end? He's like, "Rob, you know how it ends."
Yeah,
they win.
Yep. Yeah, they win. Everything's fine.
Everything is awesome.
He notices his nerdy best friend is actually quite attractive. And we'll see where that goes, but they're only, in junior high, so they can hold hands and share a knowing glance.
Unreal.
But, yeah. Then he does a little Irish step mixed with breakdancing, I guess, at the end.
Yep, it's awesome. So I want to get your final thoughts on this and see where you're at with it. But beforehand, you mentioned something. So we've moved to Wednesday nights. Deep in the Plus started on Tuesday because Disney Plus originally started on a Tuesday, and then we moved to Fridays for a while, and then we moved back to Tuesday, and now we're on Wednesday. And part of that is that with Wednesday being the day that you have a lot of things drop on Disney Plus, we thought maybe down the road we'd do some watch-alongs with you guys. Maybe we have some shows where we can just do a watch-along if, I don't know, maybe Moon Knight maybe that would be a thing we would do a watch along for. I'm just throwing that out there that could be a possibility.
Okay. Whew.
Okay.
You stole my heart.
Yeah. The other thing is, though, that we've got a new show on Unplanned Downtime. We have WDW NT is the worldwide leader in Disney parks news and entertainment. And so we've got a show about Disney parks. We've actually got one about Disney World, WDW News Today. Then we've got another one that is Disneyland News Today. Then we got another one that is Universal Parks News Today. We even had a Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser News Today. We even had that. But we're the worldwide leader in Disney parks news and entertainment. So you know what, folks? It has been far too long. And so now what we have is we have a new once a week entertainment show, Disney Entertainment News Today.
That's awesome.
So on Tuesdays, we'll bring you Disney Entertainment News Today. The first episode dropped yesterday. We would love it if you guys would check it out, give it a like, and we will be bringing you more entertainment news from the world of WDWNT.com every single Tuesday moving forward. And then on Wednesday, hopefully you join us for Deep in the Plus. It's a win-win-win, I think.
And Rob, I haven't even told you this beforehand. I got an idea for another show.
Let's fill it up. I mean, we got Park Centers on Sunday, and we got Disney Entertainment News on Tuesday, and Deep in the Plus on Wednesday. What do you got for Thursday? I mean, maybe we do something that's better than that little YouTube show Tom Corliss does on Thursdays.
See, you do these things, and I've been here for several years, and I've tried very hard to get fired, and I've just decided to stop trying because I like working here. I enjoy my time. I love my coworkers. Being a part of the WWNT team is amazing for me. But this wouldn't be live. But I got a pitch for you, and maybe if you're a wig, patreon.com/WWNT. Maybe if Rob and I talk about it, I'll share it with everyone there if we get the go ahead.
I love it. Let's do it. And because it's Disney Entertainment News Today, we've just kind of started calling it Dent.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's why people were talking about that in the chat. I was very confused.
You're like, Dent? What's Dent? I don't know. It's fine.
As we say in the business, my shoot job, my real job, gets a little bit rough at times, so I haven't been as connected as I'd like to be.
Yeah. So, like I said, we dropped the first episode yesterday. If you want to check it out,
awesome.
unplanneddowntime.com. Tell a friend, like and subscribe. We appreciate all of you for joining us. But Patrick Hackett, this is the part that you always you're ready for. This is the reason you come to Deep in the Plus, because you want to share your feelings and thoughts and insights with the people. And you need to make sure they're not wasting their time. When you go into Disney Plus, you go in there, there's a lot of stuff to look at. And I got to know.
There is. There's a lot. I get overwhelmed.
If somebody said to you, I'm thinking about watching Luck of the Irish, then I say to you, Patrick Hackett, would you recommend this movie?
Yes, I would recommend this movie. Number one, it's 90 minutes long and it's quick. Number two, it is absurd in ways that we've adequately tried to describe here in almost as much time as it takes for the movie to run, and still really didn't get to the bottom of. We didn't talk about the peat fire for reasons beyond everyone else. Number three, I'm a DCOM completionist. I think you need to see every single one. So go and check out all the DCOMs. They're quick, they're short, they're having fun. Also, it's the festive March season, it's March Madness. It's time to enjoy and bring up your Irish. I'm wearing, I'm straight out of Southie here with my Red Sox hoodie and my Celtics hat. Watch the movie. It won't take long. Enjoy it. Get the good humor that there is. Ignore the really bad sight gags that there are. And just take some time, shut your brain off, and watch Luck of the Irish.
You know what, though? I'm going to say this, and this is gonna sound weird because I like to be positive about things. There's a lot about this that is watchable. There's the fact that and the timing couldn't be better, right? It is actually early enough that you could enjoy this with your family going into St. Patrick's Day, leading up into St. Patrick's Day. You check out Darby O'Gill and the Little People. If you want to check out
Darby
our review,
O'Gill and the Little People first. Yeah.
If you want to check out our review, Patrick and I did a review 1 year ago for Darby O'Gill and the Little People. It was a lot of fun, so watch that review. But you could watch this and enjoy it for that. But also, like you said, it's March Madness time. We've got basketball in this. There's a lot of basketball.
Yeah,
Why
that's
wouldn't
true.
you? But I got to say, I'm not sure I'd recommend it. I mean, I know that you've got the completionist thing about the over 100 DCOMs, and there are over 100 DCOMs. Adventures in Babysitting with Sabrina Carpenter being the 100th. But there are a lot of better DCOMs than this. You and I reviewed the High School Musical 1 and 2. I think those are better than this. I reviewed Zombies with Eric Wolf. I think that's better than this. And all those are musical. We are going to do Xenon at some point. You know what?
Cetus Lupidus, Rob. Let's get to Xenon.
Yeah, we got Xenon. Xenon's going to be coming up. But I got to ask you this question, Patrick. So, I mean, again, for me, I would say there's other stuff to watch. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one. I wouldn't go out of my way to say, hey, you know what you don't want to miss on Disney Plus? Because if I was going to recommend any holiday St. Patrick's Day things, I would go Darby O'Gill.
Darby O'Gill.
No,
yeah, totally.
Hands down, no questions asked. You like to be, you know, a Brink proponent, the movie Brink. Y'all bring it up all the time. And we did the review, and the people spoke, and they're like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, though, with Brink and this one, both DCOMs, which one wins for you?
Brink. 100%. Brink is a more fun movie. It has more stakes.
The stakes are high.
They're not high, but there's more stakes. This doesn't feel that high. I mean, how terrible is it to actually be a leprechaun? Feels like it'd be pretty great, you know? But I think Brink is a better made movie. You know, we were talking about the director. He's gone on and done a lot of the movies that we were talking about. The writer, by the way, Andrew Price, the writer, he has written on the old MTV show Remote Control, a short-lived TV series, Turn It Up.
I'm familiar. Brady, sorry. Go ahead.
And then mostly just doing Jeopardy. So he writes clues for Jeopardy now, and I could see why. The writing's atrocious. But, man, it's fun. Just go and shut your brain off for 90 minutes. The world is a waking nightmare outside. Go watch Luck of the Irish and just laugh and enjoy and see how stupid the late 90s / early 2000s are.
Okay. Well, but yeah, you know what? Let us know in the comments below what you think. We would love to get your feedback on that. So please leave us a comment afterwards. Neko said, which one would I pick? Ooh, that's a tough one. You know what? I'd probably pick this over Brink.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you know somewhere Desi's like putting her, well, it's 10:30. Somewhere Desi's sitting with her husband and just like drop the glass. There's been a great disturbance in the force. She's gonna come online to bully you in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think this one at least has a little bit of like the whole like mystery and the magic thing happening in it that I probably get into more. So, but you know, and you got your fair share of the high school rivalry thing happening. Man, Drake. Yeah, everybody loved Drake after he won the game.
Not the same Drake.
Are you sure?
The Drake. Yes, I'm sure.
Kiki, do you love? Okay, it's not the same one. Oh, I got it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this. Thanks for moving to Wednesday with me.
Stuff.
I appreciate that.
I like it. I'm excited.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. More Patrick Hackett. Yeah. More Deep in the Plus. We got a lot more stuff coming up for you. You know, down the road here. You know, we're gonna do Turning Red. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a review of Turning Red because it's hitting Disney Plus. What's today? Today is the 9th. The 9th. So this Friday is going to be. I'm
very excited. I don't know if I'll be able to be on the episode because, as you know, we got several dates coming up, me and you, for Sunday nights. But I have a lot of thoughts on Turning Red because something's going on with Disney and Pixar, and I want to get to the bottom of it. So hopefully stay tuned there.
Yeah. The third dropped for free exclusively on Disney Plus and not in the theaters. It is interesting. I'm curious about that as well. So we'll watch that. Maybe we'll reconvene. Yeah, and as you mentioned, we're going to be doing on Park Center on Sunday nights on the main channel, WDWNT. We're going to be doing March Madness. So Park Center, born out of March Madness.
I'm going to get my jacket back from the dry cleaner before we do March Madness.
Yeah. We're going to be we'll be doing preview of March Madness this coming Sunday on Park Center. So if you're a big fan of the March Madness, we're going to be doing that at the back end of the show. Also talking about Flower and Garden and then the Food and Wine Festival that happened out in California. Lots of good stuff coming up for everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you our WIGS members. If you want more to know, want to know more about our WIGS program, it's patreon.com/WDWNT. But thank you guys who are our WIGS members so much for joining us, for being with us. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Have a good one, guys.